Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. We know that Quran has about 1/3 of it in stories, right? And these stories are not for entertainment. This is not just to pass time, right? Prophet ﷺ said, تَتَّبِعُنَّ سَنَنَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ شِبْرًا بِشِبْرٍ وَذِرَاعًا بِذِرَاعٍ. Prophet ﷺ says, you will follow those before you inch by inch and yard by yard. So we need to learn from these previous nations. So 1/2 of the stories in Quran is about Bani Israel. All the good things they did, all the bad things they did. One of the astonishing stories is actually about when they said, فَاذْهَبْ أَنْتَ وَرَبُّكَ فَقَاتِلًا إِنَّهَا هُنَا قَاعِدُونَ. When they said to Sayyidina Musa, go and your God, not our God, not Allah, not God, go with your God, fight. We're waiting here. So let's put some context into the story. So the story begins when Allah told Sayyidina Musa that he decreed or he assigned the Holy Land. with قال موسى ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم. So Allah assigned the Holy Land for the believers, just like every time. But then they came back and said, well, إن فيها قوما جبارين وإنا لن ندخلها حتى يخرجوا منها. There's very powerful, like tyrantly powerful people in this land. We will not enter until they leave. When they leave, then we can enter. Two of the believers within Bani Israel, one of them was Sayyidina Yusha bin Nun, they said, ادخلوا عليهم قال رجلان من الذين يخافون ادخلوا عليهم الباب فإذا دخلتموه فإنكم غالبون. Two of the believers said, just enter, just open the door, just step in, at least fight. And only if you do that, you will win. But then their response was, قالوا يا موسى إنا لن ندخلها حتى يخرجوا منها فاذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنها هنا قاعدون. So go with your Lord. We're not going to enter until they leave. Go with your Lord, and when they leave, just let us know. Just send us an SMS. We'll be there when the time is right. How cowardly is this? How disrespectful? How rude is it to say that? So Allah punished them like 2 ayahs later. Sayyidina Musa said, well, it's just me and Harun, what can I do? But Allah punished them. And Allah said, قال إنها محرمة عليهم 40 سنة يتيهون في الأرض. So Allah decreed that this land will be forbidden, will be haram for them. For 40 years, they will be wandering in the land. And a lot of narrations say that this wandering happened in Sinai. They were lost in Sinai for 40 years. How big is Sinai? Maybe a couple of 100 miles wide, a couple of 100 miles long. How could you be lost for 40 years? You can just take the north, just face the sun, you will hit something, go west or north or south, you'll hit sea somewhere. It's a peninsula, so it's surrounded with water from so many directions. How could they be lost for 40 years? So let's look at what this generation, what this population of Bani Israel looked like. These were slaves. They had no free will. They had no will at all. They had no power. They were used to worshiping idols. Well, they didn't worship idols, but their masters worshiped idols. And the minute they crossed the sea, what did they do? Oh, اجعل لنا آلهة كما لهم إله. Just create a god for us. Just like they passed by some tribe worshiping some kind of an idol, and they said, build us something just like them. We want to have our own master. We miss slavery. We want to be slaves again. And the Samiri is one of the Bani Israel. He built that calf out of gold, and he made it in a way that gets like wind that will whistle and look like glamorous and everything. And they worship the calf. Allah just saved you from Fir'aun He split the sea for you. And now you're safe. And the first thing you do is you worship an idol? What is wrong with this generation? So that was the first thing. The second thing is they were so tied to this life. They were so poor, call it, but they were used to like very simple life. Their agriculture, Egypt was like all about like agriculture and building and stuff. So that's what they're used to. So they're not used to really fighting and doing things and getting things done right and getting the land back from others and stuff. They were not used to that. So Allah decreed that it will be forbidden for them for 40 years. Why 40 years? So the first generation, they were slaves. They were used to worshiping or seeing their masters worshiping idols. They have no will. They cannot do much. They're so tied to their simple life. They even stole the gold from the Egyptians when they left. So it's a messed up generation. So that first generation has to go away. Now their kids, the second generation, they still saw their parents, the first generation, say, oh, you know what? Don't talk about this. Just keep it hush. Don't get yourself in trouble. Just put your head down and do the stuff. Just carry the thing. You're a slave. You're a slave mentality. Your parents are telling you what they want to be, what they are as slaves, and they want you to be like them. So even the second generation is not going to make a big difference. And then comes the third generation that didn't see their parents as slaves. They didn't see the mentality of slavery. They will be free in their mind and their soul. So 40 years will generate two new generations with a little bit of attachment to God, not to idols, to have free will that they can do stuff versus being a slave. The second most important thing, they were so tied to the life that they lived. Some narrations say that Sayyidina Musa they will camp somewhere, they have nothing, they have just tents and stuff, right? And then he will wake up one day, it's like, let's pack and let's go. Where are we going? Just pack and go. Discipline, obedience, teaching them to be the slaves of God, not the slaves of their masters, of humans, of idols, of worshiping these idols. Sayyidina Musa will wake up, pack and go. They pack, they move, they park somewhere, they put their tents again. They live there for a few months, few weeks, God knows when. And one day he wakes up, let's go, pack and go. So there's no attachment to anything in this land. You're not attached, you don't have a big house or a big car or a big job that you're attached to. So this generation was totally detached from this life. You're only attached to understanding and let the message, let the religion sink in, let the belief sink in with two generations. And this is the generation that Sayyidina Yusha bin Nun led, and he was able to go into the blessed sacred land and free land. Rasulullah talks about al-wahan. Al-wahan, the weakness. When he said, "Tushuk an tada'a alaykum al-umam kama tada'a al-akalatu ila qas'atiha, qalu amin qillatin nahnu yawma idhin ya Rasulullah, qala bala, qala la, walakinnakum ghutha ka ghutha'i as-sayl." And then they asked him, why is that? He said, وَلَكِنَّهُ الْوَهَنُ وَمَا هُوَ الْوَهَنُ يَا رَسُولُ اللَّهِ حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا وَكَرَاهِيَةُ الْمَوْتِ. Prophet ﷺ says, there will be a time when everybody's going to come against you. The east, the west, the north, the south, anybody who's passing by is going to slap you on your face. And you have no way of returning that. And they were like, oh, are we going to be like a small minority like we started Islam? No, there will be a lot of you, but you will have this weakness in your heart. What is that weakness? حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا وَكَرَاهِيَةُ الْمَوْتِ. You love this life. You're so scared to die. These people who said, اذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا, they had exactly that. They could not take it that, oh, I'm going to fight, I may die. No, I'd rather be here. Well, you're supposed to be a believer. Yeah, but not today, maybe tomorrow. So that mentality is what Allah punished, and He waited to develop this new generation that will really understand. I think we're seeing this today in this day and age, where our first generation, me included, as a fresh off the boat, like they call it the fob, right? That's what we fear. Oh, don't talk about this. Stay quiet. Don't get yourself in trouble. Just put your head down and work. And guess what? Our kids are different. Our kids want to speak up. They want to take an action. They want to be involved. We should not slow them down. We should not tell them, don't do this and don't do that. Just put your head down. They are not the same slaves that we were. They were not treated the way we were treated. They will be better than us. And may Allah give them the power, the patience, the trust, and the will to make a difference. May Allah save us and save our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Really change the history with what they're doing, with flip-flops, destroying hundreds of millions of dollars of military equipment. Nobody could do that. And that's the generation that's going to change the future, inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. جزاكم الله خيرا.